What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another tank update. Things are looking good. I know you're looking right now saying, "Ugh, what is all that brown stuff?" Yeah, that's probably just a diatom bloom again. So just a quick update. Since I last did my medication treatment for the cyanobacteria, I decided to let my tank recycle. So I haven't done a water change since the last video update. If I did, I think it was maybe a week after that. So it's been quite a while, probably 3 weeks plus. So what I'm trying to do is just let the tank's ecosystem be reestablished, and currently things are looking good. I'm not getting much green hair algae. The only little bit are just on the rocks where I had some, dead strands that I never picked back up. But what I am seeing now is a lot of coralline algae start to come back to the glass. It's kind of scattered here and there, but most notably, just to give you an idea, right here. So I got this idea just because I know Ron likes to do his water changes usually just once a month at 10%. And I think that's really what he's doing versus what I'm doing. That's letting the tank ecosystem be more established in his than it is in mine. I think I'm just doing water changes too often. But I'm just going to let the coralline algae grow out a little bit more. I'm no longer scraping the glass. I'm just kind of running it softly with a paper towel just to remove any brown or green algae off the glass. But coral-wise, everything's looking really good now too. I was always worried about phosphate levels and stuff. I haven't tested my phosphates to see if they're high or anything, but the only thing I did notice is that these corals here are just kind of stretching for a little bit more light. I have my whites at 10% and my blues at 20% on my 2 Vipar spectras, and that's been like that for quite a while now. While those guys are stretched, everything else seems to be healthy. So definitely have a frog here coming. The baby hammer here is actually grown quite a lot since I first got it. And the, what's it called? Cherry, can't think of the name right now. Go figure. But this guy's doing good here. The smaller heads are no longer, shriveled, actually spread and opening up. Even the mushrooms in the back are looking a lot better. So look at that, they're finally opening up and actually going in a bloom. Beyond that, what else is new? If you look up to my old hammer, the skeleton of my hammer, a long time ago I thought something would spawn off of it because it had it's kind of hard to tell on this camera, I'm sorry, but they're definitely purple tips with green arms. Got a lot of new heads growing around the old heads. They started off just as little polyps, kind of little polyp looking things way back when, looking nothing like they do now, but now it's much more obvious that they are actually individual heads for hammers, so that's good. What else is growing and explode? It's growing really fast. I mean, super fast since I stopped doing these water changes. And I'm not trying to say water changes are bad or anything. I just think my tank has been, hasn't been as fully established as it could have been since my treatment. So I think it just needed some time to bounce back. It's kind of hard to tell on camera, but this bird's nest has grown a lot from front to back. And you can kind of see the white tips, spread throughout the body. At the end of the arms, for example, center screen right there, that's a site of new growth. And I mean, just looking at the health of this thing has exploded in growth. So it's going really good. Found a couple of stragglers here on the sand, just some small corals here and there that have grown more and become more noticeable. You got a couple zoas there, another a couple more there. And where are we at? There's one other thing I saw here. Yeah, Recordia, I think it's called, this mushroom here. But we got a lot of corals coming in. All my snails pretty much dead. I need to look into the species of snails and what their diet was, but It's past that point. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I was feeding more on the hard pellets to try and get to them more food, but that wasn't really doing it. So hopefully next go around here I will put in some breeds that are specific to algae eating, but at the time I bought those snails, that's all they had. So figured it was better than nothing, but apparently I was wrong. It was just a waste of some snails. Poor snails. Anyways, fish are doing great. And here's one of the few hermit crabs or cleanup crew I have in this tank right here. It's been a hot minute. Oh, look, there's two of them. That's nice. So yeah, they're there. They're there. So, here's the deal. Future plans. What's happening with this tank? Well, I will eventually add in the rocks here and there and whatever else, but as I've got to the point in my life where I'm finishing up at my current location with school, and I am relocating for some things I need to do. And moving this tank is not going to be a joy across, you know, the 50 states of the U.S. So I may, more than likely will end up giving this tank to Ron. So Ron's just going to buy it off me. And he will have it set up in his house. What I will do, I'm thinking, because while I sold my Nuvo 10, I still have my Evo 5. I'm more than likely going to be resetting up my 5 gallon since it's more easily carried around. Adding the fact that I now have a freshwater top off, a skimmer, and a bunch of other maintenance things, you know, the automatic fish feeder and stuff. It's going to make it a lot easier to take care of that 5 gallon. Not so much in the balance of, you know, leaving it alone for a full month like I can with this tank, but at least I'll be able to move around with it. So we'll probably end up moving some of this rock into the 5 gallon, most of the corals into the 5 gallon. I'm thinking, you know, maybe 1 rock, 2 rock in the back, 3 rock. That 4 rock here, this small one, I may keep it in here. These 2 are the original ones I was rocking my 5 gallon. I might put this as a bottom rock. You can see my Zoapallies there, or my Rossozoas there. But, you know, it's going to kind of be hard, for example, to take these corals off here, my SPS. Bird's nest, I'm not so worried, too worried about that. I'm sure I can make it wiggle out. I think it's grown into, or it's interlocked itself around the rock. It's going to be harder to take that out, but we'll see. But overall, I'm happy with this tank. I mean, I'll just do a quick scan here. I mean, you can see Coralline algae starting to come everywhere. So this is exactly what I was hoping to get a long time ago. And I'm pretty frustrated that it's only now happening, as I have like 3 months left or so before I need to start moving around here. But you can kind of see it growing everywhere. So I'm really happy about that. I'm probably going to leave my lights at 10 and 20 for the power settings, despite what I'm seeing over here. And we will hopefully keep seeing good things, because I'm happy with what I'm seeing now. And I think realistically it'll be another 2 months before the Coralline algae really takes over the glass, like it has, minimum at least, like it has in Ron's tank. He's got his whole back wall covered in it, and that tank is, you know, absolutely beautiful to look at. I don't recall the last time I did a tank update, but perhaps I'll get it to you guys sometime soon. But right now, I'm just growing this Coralline out in hopes that, you know, if and when we bring it to Ron's place, it's going to be covered, so it'll make it more established for him, easier for him to keep. So anywho, my nano, if I set it up and not this tank, more than likely, guys, I probably will have a nano, will get some better cleanup crew, because then I'm dealing with, you know, 10 or 15 as opposed to 100 snails, so, and, you know, hermits and whatever else I choose to get. But yeah, guys, just a bit of a rant today, not much to show you besides that. If you're still sticking around, thanks for tuning in. If y'all have any questions, y'all haven't had much lately, I will get back to you as you ask. Thanks so much. Y'all have a good one. See ya.